Hi, welcome. My name is Nicole, and I am here with a message. And this message is talking about cycles, demonic cycles, and evil patterns, to be exact. I wanted to come and talk about this because I not only was I led to talk about it, but I just think that it is a good thing for us to address right before we step into the new year. That way, we're able to step into the new year, leaving all the old baggage behind and starting afresh. We like to make, big goals and plans when we go into the new year, for the new year, where we're talking about being a new version of ourselves. So I felt that, why not bring forth this message so that, I could give insight on a topic that we rarely ever address when we're talking about going into the new year and being a new version of ourselves. There are certain things that has to take place before we can become a new version of ourselves. One of the main things is to understand what a new version of ourselves consists of. What is it that we need to shed off, the old thing that we need to shed off that will allow us to walk into that new version of ourselves. And usually we are carrying different baggage and different toxic behaviors or bad behaviors and patterns that causes us to continue to move in cycles or go in cycles in our lives where we're very rarely able to see anything new and fresh happen for us. So when it comes to becoming a new version of ourselves, that means we have to address the flaws or the bad patterns and behaviors that causes us to, or that gets in the way of us being that new version of ourselves. So I wanted to talk about cycles and again, demonic cycles to be exact. And what are demonic cycles? Demonic cycles are destructive and bad patterns that usually manifest in our lives as can manifest in our lives as harmful behaviors, addictions, or even through toxic relationships And what these destructive patterns are different things that we result to that are unhealthy when we are in certain situations or when we experience certain emotions or we just go through certain things in our lives, and these unhealthy patterns are what keeps us in that cycle that keeps us from elevating or from growing. So demonic cycles, again, it's a cycle. It's just like it's almost like being on a hamster wheel, and it just keeps going around and around and around, and you don't really see anything, much of anything good that comes from it. And that is something that we want to begin to address when we're talking about becoming a new version of ourselves, because these demonic cycles are what keep us in toxic friendships and relationships. These demonic cycles and behaviors and patterns is what ultimately lead to recurring sins. So it keep us in a sinful cycle, and that's really the reason why it's called a demonic cycle, because it's recurring sin. So we're not growing the way we need to grow because we're continuing to do the things that keep us in that sinful cycle. And so what we need to do is we need to begin to at first acknowledge these cycles and patterns. And how do we do this? We do this through prayer. We do this through self-introspection. We do this through a relationship with God and Him revealing certain things to us. We observing our behaviors and how we react to certain issues or certain, just certain things in our lives that will really help us to figure out what needs to be changed and what needs to be addressed. And this is the one of the main things when it comes to wanting to become a better version of yourself. So you detect, you discover the demonic cycles, the patterns, and the different things that you have in your life. Like maybe, say for instance, for example, you may go through something in life, someone upset you, or you may have a bad day, and instead of, going and just, say, maybe pray about it, you decide instead that you're going to go and pick up a glass of alcohol, knowing and not just pick up a glass of alcohol, but you've gone to the local bar to drink that alcohol when you know that you have to drive back home, which could potentially lead to you getting a DUI. And now you're stuck in a pattern where now you have a DUI, and it makes it difficult for you to do certain things in your life because now you have a record. And so instead of creating better patterns for you, now you have to resort to different things to work around this record or having this record. That's one of the examples. There's many other reasons, many other things that can play a role in all of this. It is just up to you to discover that. But I thought that this would be a good step for us to to take before going into the new year. So in order for you to also acknowledge or recognize these demonic cycles, sometimes it will require you to go on a fast and spending time with God in order for Him to point those things out to you and help you realize it, because sometimes we don't always understand what's causing our life to go the way it is. We know it's something, but we don't have the eyes to see it, or we don't, have the discernment to recognize it. So I just wanted to come and talk about that and to encourage you to, take heed to this message, and let's try and work on these things now, and so that we could walk into 2025 a new version of ourselves and begin to see the fruits and the promises that God has made us. I pray that this message helps someone, and until next time, you have a good one.